It's been a while. It's terrible. Hey, welcome back to eBEFOREi Video Reviews. I'm back again. I've been vacationing so much, but I'm back to finally give you a review of a figure that I really enjoy. Surprisingly so. This is RiD, Robots in Disguise, Warrior Class Fracture. Now, there's a lot of mixed opinions on the RiD figures. Are they too kiddie? Are they Transformers enough? What's the quality, etc. I like this line. I've enjoyed it from the beginning. I think I've gotten just about every one I can get my hands on, and this one I was really excited to get a hold of. Anytime I can get more Decepticons of any line, I'm a happy guy. So anyway, let's take a look at the figure. This is Fracture. He's a motorcycle, kind of a futuristic, Cybertronian-looking vehicle. Purple, lots of purple. A little bit of silver and some red splashed in. You see that little red there. There's a little bit of yellow, maybe? Maybe that's just my... No, it's red. It's just my camera angle. The thing about this figure that I really enjoy, first of all, that it's a motorcycle. I love motorcycle Transformers. Except those movie bots. But anyway, this is good. This is a good-looking vehicle. It's nice and solid. It rolls great. He has a kickstand that can move up and down. So you get good balance on the bike. This exhaust slash weapony looking thing is a weapony thing. It turns into his weapon, and that's awesome. The thing that I like about the vehicle mode is it's nice and tight. And there have been some, again, mixed reviews online. And one of the things is that maybe some of the figures aren't as tight as others. Maybe they're not being pegged in correctly when the reviews are being filmed. I don't know. I can only speak to the figure that I got here. And it's very solid. There's nothing here that's loose. I mean, I'm holding it by the motorcycle stalk there. I don't know what you call it. Anyway, there's no bend, there's no give. I can hold it by all angles, and it's a solid motorcycle. Everything's locked into place. This little bit right here is pegged in right up under that. Makes it nice and tight. The feet actually peg in. I say that like it's obvious that it's feet. It's not. But they're pegged in right up underneath the purple there. So everything's connected to one another, and it's a nice tight bike. Let's take a closer look at what vehicle mode looks like. Then I'll get him transformed and show you his bot mode. Alright, so here is his vehicle mode super close. And he's got some really cool looking plastic here. It doesn't feel cheap at all. It's a decent quality. He's got a decent weight to him despite the size. It's kind of on the small size. This is Warrior Class, which is sort of like the RiD Deluxe line. As I spin him all the way around, you see he's nice and straight, really cool lines. Couple of joints. There's a pin right there, pin there. There's definitely exposed pins, and if you're into flawless figures with covered pins, this is not the guy for you. But if you want just a fun Decepticon, this is the guy for you. Taking a look at him all the way around, there's the wheel that will ultimately split into two pieces, but that's nice and tight together. The top, the seated area, as far as the size is concerned, it's probably best suited if you wanted to put like a figure near him. I think this is a 3.5-inch figure from Doctor Who. Definitely crossing the sci-fi brands here, but that's about the right size. If this guy was going to hop on the bike, unfortunately, his legs aren't quite that, not that loose to put him on there. But standing next to the bike, that'd probably be about the size of a figure if you'd want to stick one on there. Maybe a G.I. Joe-ish size would work out just fine. To get him transformed, I want to go ahead and pull the weapon off. And it's just pegged in like that. So it just pops in that one hole. This is what he looks like without it. So you kind of, no real obvious robot parts sticking out, which is kind of nice. I'm going to go ahead and move up the kickstand like that. Then I'm going to unpeg the feet. So these peg in. You see that there's a little hole on each side, and there's a peg. One right there and one right there, and it just slots in real nice. But I'm going to unpeg that and kind of stretch out the legs. I'm also going to separate this. So just give it a little tug. And actually, I said give it a little tug, but it actually kind of clips in there. So it's best if you just kind of push down on this one while pulling up on that, and it separates real nice. I'm going to take what are the hands and kind of open them up like that. Now I'm going to disconnect the biker stall. I'm so sorry, I don't know what that's called. But it's kind of pegs in right there. You see where it slots in. All right, coming up to what become his shoulders, I'm just going to move the legs down a bit. You want to pull these, and these are kind of tabbed together too. You want to separate that, so what you end up with is shoulders, and you get a bit of a head reveal there. This is kind of neat. You're going to take this whole thing, you're going to flip this up, which takes the bottom of the chest and the head and puts it through the hole, take it all the way down to what becomes the back, and push it down until it kind of snaps in place. Like that. Then you want to tilt the wheel so that the peg, there's only a peg on one side, is facing up, because that's going to go there. Hello? Just kidding. So you want to move that there, peg it in, and it looks good like that. Coming back around to the front, you want to take his hands out. His hands are tabbed in there. Just kind of pull them out. Has a little bit of a snap when it locks in place. Listen. Ooh, that was loud. Not really. But you'll know when it's there. I'm going to go ahead and bend him at the elbow. Then I'm going to come down to the feet. And if I look behind, there's a foot waiting to be shown. Now, this foot has a gigantic heel, but I'm not going to complain about the heel because it means he's impossible to knock down, just about. So he ends up in a really good position. Now, before I stand him up and pose him up, I'm going to take his weapon, and I'm going to untab. Lots of tabs on this figure, which is good. And I'm going to open it up, snap that into place. So now I have a rifle thing. And now you can stand him up, pose him up, move the other crap off the table. What you end up with is one awesome looking Decepticon. I mean, I'm so happy to have this. All the way around, I mean, any flaw in this figure, you're going to plainly see as I spin him around. A little bit hollow, yes. A little bit of a backpack, yes. Great, sleek-looking Decepticon to add to your line? Absolutely. Let's take a closer look at Fracture. Kind of a Starscream-esque face mixed with a rooster. You've got Fracture, and he's got a cool-looking head. It's small. I found that the RiD Warrior class heads come in two sizes, big and small. There's no in between, and this is no exception. But he does turn left and right. There's no up and down movement. It's just a head that turns. He has red eyes, silver paint, the Decepticon symbol you can scan. I don't think I've ever even done that once, but it's there if you want to download the app on your smartphone. Don't do it with your dumb phone because it's not going to work. Nice silver paint on the shoulders. Kind of a fleck tone metallic looking plastic. It reminds me of those old carnival boat rides at the fair. You know what I'm talking about? Little baby rides. They got that sparkle paint. Looks really nice. Lots of little intricate detail on the plastic. There's a little red molding, or painted. In plastic molding, looks like little screws or divots. His waist piece, he's got a built-in belt, which is kind of neat. His weapon is all kinds of awesome. I mean, it's just like a big, long rifle, which is cool. And he can hold it almost like a spear if you want to. And you can also hold it like a regular weapon. So I can get my hand in here sort of like this. I mean, you know what I mean. You can kind of hold it like that, like a regular weapon, slotting that in his hand. So all in all, it works pretty well. There's no waist swivel. Oh my God, there's no waist swivel. You're going to be fine. You don't need that. Not in this figure. He does have a ball joint right there. In his leg, he also has a swivel above the knee, and then the knee hinge itself, so lots of posability in the figure itself. Down on the legs, wheels kind of open up, so he's got a wheel on each side, which looks cool. The wheels are kind of flimsy, and so that is maybe not as cool, but it's still fine. Kickstand off to the side. On the back, again, you do have the hollowness here in the legs. He definitely feels like a heavier figure in vehicle mode because he's more compact than when he spreads out into his bot mode. He's the exact same weight. He's not breaking laws of physics here, but he does feel a little bit lighter in his robot mode because the weight is distributed differently. Size comparison with other figures, he's right there. And there's another small head, small head, big head, big head. Two different sizes of heads, same low everyday price. Let's get Prime in the shot. He's got a small head too. But I find that Fracture fits in really well. My Megatronus is in the other room, so I'm not going to grab him right this second. No real need, other than to tell you that he looks great with him. Two small-headed figures, works fantastic. When you put him next to some others with a larger size head, I don't want to get off on this big head tangent, but they don't seem to be consistent across the line. So what's my opinion of Fracture? In case you couldn't tell by the tone of my review, go get him. He's a great Decepticon to add to your collection. Looks great with the other RiD Transformers if you collect them. Looks great even if you don't. And makes me only more anxious to get a hold of Thunderhoof and Quillfire to complete my Decepticon collection. I'll tell you this, he's pretty easy to find, at least in the States. You can go to Amazon.com and find him. You can find him in some Targets. I've seen him in my local Target a few times, as well as some other locations here. So he's not that difficult, and if you find him in retail, the price is just right. Don't go pay crazy amounts of money online, but he's a great figure at this price point. Highly recommended. Thank you again for watching eBEFOREi video reviews. And though I've been gone for a little while, I'm never gone for too long. I will be back sooner than the last time, of course. I have a lot of other things to talk about, including MP Hot Rod, which is my new favorite toy. So good. I definitely recommend that. As well as Decepticon Megatronus in the RiD line. Also digging that as well. And many other things that come across my path, I'll show them to you here on my channel. If you like what I do, hit subscribe, tell your friends about me, and don't forget to find me all over social media, on Facebook, on Twitter. I've got a Facebook group. Join me. I'll approve you myself. And I think that's end of the shilling. This is eBEFOREi Video Reviews, and we'll see you back here again real soon.